are now about to witness the awesome, crushing might of the Eugene S. Robinson Stomper! Welcome, my friends, to a show that seemingly never ends. Let's see what face that is. Welcome to Thursday of 3. Let's see, hold on. 3, 6, 5, nope, 3, 6, 5, 6. I got it right. Well, it's easy to remember this week. Welcome to the version of the show. It is tribute. I should have opened up with Flipper instead, because all we gotta say is the first that Bob Wiley seen us in, as he has every single week since 2007. The song is called Intro All of Nothing, from Stigmata, the band's records, Calling of the Just. Still available on Revelation Records from Huntington Beach, California. When you shoot your death in a nightclub, you hit your car with a hammer, and you run your makeup hotel out of town, you open up with some kind of restaurant in Central Florida, you will ultimately fail. Listen well.
I'm on my way back to nowhere. I took my time, but I could not see so clear. But I'm taking a real good look. Now I'm taking a
Real good look at your face.
I'm on my way back to Denver.
So beer pays out for always nothing. Well, first off, thank you for showing up, those of you. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'm sitting there with my certificate that I got my black belt 2 years ago, but it's not real until you get the certificate. So he's withheld the certificate for 2 years. Yesterday, he gives me the certificate. He being Coach Pee-Pee Toucher, also known as Coach Baldylocks, also known as Coach Hair Club, Leopoldo Serrao, and he gives it to me. And I said, great, you gonna sign it? Right away, I know the tricks. He goes, sign what? He becomes Vinny Barbarino. What do you mean sign what? Sign the certificate. What certificate? That one right there. Where? The one in my hand. I don't have a pen. Look, I have a pen. I pull a pen out. He goes, I'm getting spasms in my hand. And he won't do it, right? This is his trip. He won't do it. So I'm like, come on, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna just leave it. You play your games with somebody else. Yeah. It's ritual humiliation. I'm talking. That's what the show is about, me talking. So I sit there and I'm about to leave. I'm hobbling out with a brace on my leg. I took her to jiu-jitsu. And so I could just sit there and kind of scream. And then I look and see he signed it. But I'd already posted about how he hadn't signed it. So I'm like, oh, cool. He signed it. However, it took me 24 hours, and I refused to acknowledge it today, but I thought distinctly that, you see his signature, I thought distinctly that he had already given me one of these 6 months after I got my black belt, and then I realized what's happened. Look at it. Do you get it? You see? I don't know. I can't see what you're seeing. Oh, yeah, there we go. What do you see?
Clear.
No, it says no gi, meaning that this whole time I've been a brown belt in luta livre, no gi jiu-jitsu. He did something, as far as I know, he's never done for anybody, including Marty G, gave me a black belt certificate for luta livre. I am his first, as far as I know, luta livre black belt, and that to me is more valuable to me than the, $60,000 I spent on my Stanford education or whatever I spent. All I know is it took me 17 years to pay off. It's my fault for choosing journalism, or as they call it there at Stanford, communications, as a major, but whatever. It was the only way I could get out. It wasn't going to be physics or calculus. So anyway, that's where we are today. I realized I didn't give him his flowers and was like, yo, bro, it's great that I'm the, because the last thing is they're having a going away party for me next weekend. The last thing is the big black belt. He's got a wooden black belt on the wall. It's been signed by all black belts held in high esteem. Horace Gracie has signed it. Daniel, there are a couple of them signed it. He asked Marty G to sign it before he left. I have not signed it. Not going to push. But yeah, I could open up my own school in Spain, and I've thought about it. But we'll see how I like training at the other place there, since I would rather just go in and scope the scene. One of the guys, Clubhouse Cancer from our team, has moved to Spain, but I found out he's in a town way far away from I am. And I'm still friendly with him, but it would be a harbinger of future jiu-jitsu failures to come were he to be in the same town. It would be a harbinger of doom, I would say. So thank goodness we're not in the same place. However, I didn't want to start the show talking about that. I'm excited about it, but I don't want to start the show talking about that. But inevitably, as I sat down to start the show, I took a glance at that and I was like, yeah, now I have to get the little rubber wristband from him because I've been sporting the brown one the whole time. And he said, look, if you don't wear it, and it seemed to me crazy and kind of crypto homo, like prison thing, like you got to wear this. And he goes, no, because there's no gi and we don't know. We want people to have an understanding. I go, look, I already have belt ranked rash guard. This is when I was a purple belt. He goes, you don't wear it, you can't train. So then you just start wearing these little, like the Live Strong, they don't cost anything. This is the difference between, say, when my kids were training at Kungles, and it was like every belt test was like $300, and black belt was like $1,000. Get out. Just for testing? Oh, I got to sacrifice my weekend. Not like this, you don't. So I've been wearing the brown one the whole time. Some guys wear it on their ankles. Not me. Always on my wrist. But now I lost it. I packed it away. So now next week I can go and I can get the black one, and I'll be happy as a clam. Even though he did say to me, stripes are something that us Brazilians do because Americans are like children and it makes them happy. We don't do these in Brazil. I was like, all right, whatever, man, whatever. So I'm fortunately at the stage where I'm not it, man. With my leg messed up, I'm just happy to be able to walk, and I'll be happy to be able to train again. It's gonna be a few months before the killer returns. But I have to tell you, the killer is sharpening his swords. Yeah, I'm watching BJJ videos. I'm putting together, and I'm not watching the good ones either. I'm watching Danaher. And Danaher, I love Danaher because he gave five submissions from the neck above, or 5 submissions from the neck above. And they were all ones I routinely use that make people angry with me, because I go, look, you have all these channels. Sorry for this jiu-jitsu tutorial. Here's a channel. This whole section here, you put the bone of the forearm on it and you pull it. There's a channel. There's one. The philtrum. So the nose is one. Same. The philtrum. Sorrel does it. He's got a special. He adds one. He does it across your teeth. And then when you get him and you do it across his teeth, he simply opens his mouth. And then you say, hey, he bit me. I didn't bite you. You were forcing your forearm into my mouth. That's what happened. You can do it here. So you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And who's going to teach us? Modern school, the ecological jiu-jitsu guys, they will not teach it. In fact, if you do it, it's a pro level move only, because if you do that to people and you tap them with it, you better be better than them, because they're going to be so angry that reprisals will be afoot. Speaking of reprisals, hey, Mr. Robinson, you watched the fights last night? Nah, man, I was at Coldplay. No, we weren't at Coldplay. Coldplay played in town 3 miles from where I am tonight. And I was like, man, those Mexicans over in the next block, they're having a loud party. And I listened a little bit. I go, that's uncharacteristically, that's like off brand for, I go, oh, whoa, that's Coldplay that I'm hearing from about 3 miles away. And like a buddy of mine once said about Coldplay, they make the first 30 seconds of any Coldplay song makes anything you do seem like the most, crucial-ish ever. Like you'll be doing laundry, the first 30 seconds kick in, you're like, man, it's launches. And then after that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm listening to Coldplay. So that's what it was about. I heard the sound, I goes, oh, just shit. And then I realized, yeah, it's not the Mexicans a few blocks over, it's the Coldplay, Yeah, I'm a Josh Barnett guy. Vochanchin, Eugene LaBelle, Danaher, all those guys that have a historical take or connection to catch wrestling. But look, I'll tell you something. Okay, so you want the arm triangle, right? So he's mounted on top of me. The guy, his head is here where Cora's head is, and he's shoving my head across here to try to choke me. Well, okay, in jiu-jitsu, at this point, there are things to get out of it. But what I learned from catch wrestling is I take it, I move my elbow. So if she was trying to sink it in, so where I'm hunting for the side of her head or her jaw. And I mean, I'm not going to give you an exact tutorial, but what you do is to get out of it, you make a fist here, and then you can go like this. I'm not going to really, boom, a guy did it to me. And from the outside, it looks like he's just shoving his hand to move for a better position. It was like lightning went off in my head because the point of his elbow was right here. And so when he just did that little bit, it didn't look like a strike at all. No ref would have ever called it. That's what I'm there for. Catch wrestling, Carl Gotch. If you read the fight book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Speaking of fights, oh, all of the MMA adjacency this past week, it is to laugh. First of all, what do we learn this week if you're reading your MMA adjacency news feed? We learned that the bald one bought himself a bull. And by bull, I don't mean a strapping young African-American man to satisfy his beleaguered wife while he sits in the cuck chair. I mean an actual bovine, four-legged, cleft-footed animal, a bull. A bull. Whoa, you hear that shouldn't guard pass? I mean, listen, all those guys, they say, I have a book as I'm packing my stuff, and it was never published. Lou Thez wrote, and it's called The Diary of a Hooker, because that's what he called himself. Well, before they called themselves hookers, catch wrestlers called themselves rippers. And the idea being anything you do when you're rolling should cause the other person pain. It should be exhausting. And that's very much not part of, you know how many times modern jiu-jitsu schools have had to talk to me? A lot. Yeah, I've traveled all over the world and done stuff. And, you can see people go, whoa. Now my friend Harley Flanagan from the Crow Mag says it best. Jiu-jitsu is what I do with my friends. Yeah, that's what I do with my friends. With my friends, fortunately, they get better and then return the favor, or they stop being friends. But that's the way I roll. I'm not being a jerk. It's just like somebody on who's that guy? Peter Resco, who used to do the Vertical Fightland at Vice. He said he did this. He's got this jiu-jitsu tapes, and somebody said, "I'm sick of easy. Oh, easy. Oh, we're gonna. This is supposed to be hurtful and rough. Deal with it or take up badminton. I don't know what to tell you." So I'm not talking about injuring people. I'm talking about making your presence felt and known. Be around here. So that's it. Jam-packed week. This is version 366 of the Eugene S. Robinson Show, Stomper. Does anybody need me to leave this up longer? Speak now or yeah, the tree issue, I broke down and cut the tree. They asked for it, and then I tried to get around it because there was an offer coming in, and I was like, well, they said, yeah, but it's in a disclosure. I go, I didn't put it in disclosure. Yeah, but when you told us you would take care of it, we put it in disclosure. Unfortunately, the guy said, he's like, I tell you, I don't know what the scam was. I think he probably told his boss, hey, I need to borrow the crane for some stuff I have to do at my house. Okay. So the dude said, I'll tell you what, if you book me tomorrow, I'll come out at 8, I'll do it for you. I'll cut $1,000 off of it. So I had to pay $3,500 for them to take down the 65-foot pine, and I left it at a 3-foot top. So I got a little tight picnic table out there now for those who care for such things. And so that is done. Yeah, they wanted me. Yeah, I think who knows why they wanted me, you know. So I did have to pay to cut the tree down. The house is sold. So I can. Who's a D-man? Who's a D-man? I'm sorry, but sometimes I get lost. Who was a D-man? I'm glad to answer. So that's where we are. House is sold. Which lawyer? I got a few. I got Mr. Gentili, and I got the one in Spain. These are the only which lawyer? The car has not sold. The car is not sold. I did get a call from a film crew guy who wants to use it for some TV thing. He's going to pay me $500 for an hour. I go, yeah, but I can't drive it, and you can't drive it. He goes, I can drive it. No, you can't. No, you can't. So, no, nobody can. I don't know what you're talking about with guns. The guns have taken a different road. The car is on its way to being sold. Every week it doesn't sell. I keep raising the price $5,000. I think I have to start going another way because it's really not worth $45,000. It is, but it's not. So maybe I'll start climbing down and see if we can get somebody to take it. But it's not here at the house anymore. Other cars are leases. Take them back the day before. And with the gats with the heaters, the shooters, I got a guy who was taking them in the same way that you might pass a bag to your friends, like in The Godfather, with the understanding that they're mine, but he has them. So at some point he'll say, what do you want to do about these? I go, sell them, send me the money, or I've got the lay of the land here. I think I know how you can send them, and we'll go that way. But right now they're being cleaned, they're being taken care of, and they're being used. And the only thing that I'm losing are the copious amounts of ammo that the guy said, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm not going to use this ammo. I'll go, the ammo's there to be used. Just leave me a little bit of it, So that's the rent I have to pay, for the gats. Of course, having to see it, I got one old man rash guard left. It's small, though, extra small. So it's for the kid or the lady in your life or the very tiny man that you know. I forget the last thing I was going to say. Anyway, we've gotten far enough. Over. Thanks for listening. I feel sick because I had corned beef and hash for brunch, and I wanted eggs on top, sunny side up, but they were kind of watery. Should have set them back, but I'm not that guy. Ate them, and now the stomach hurts. But I did this to myself, but I just love that meal. Exactly. So, anyway, we'll see you next week. Between now, next week they want to meet with me, but I'll do the show before then. So, you know what they say. Look what you made me do! No time, Lazarus. No time. Nobody said anything about it.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit, over at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still hanging on to Twitter, he's there at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, you can follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstopperpodcast.substack.com. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jiu-jitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Breed podcast, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row, today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated, honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced since 2015 by Original Designs, owned and operated by myself, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with things like videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, which is spelled orijunels@gmail.com.